All right, welcome everyone to Wednesday's live stream. Thank you all for waiting. So the number one topic for tonight is going to be SPY. Because we're seeing potential market bottom for now. We're going to see a lot of overhead supply and resistance, but for the fact that we've made a great reversal for the past 2 days, including today, I think there's a good chance that we can continue to move to the upside until next week, because we have a very essential economic data coming out next week, and FOMC meeting starts as well with Jerome Powell speaking again. I know they're going to be really concerned about the current inflation rate. So as expected, I think they're going to raise the rates by 1 whole percentage point. They're really going to crush demand if they do that. So we're already seeing the effects of hiking up interest rates. So hopefully they crush demand even more so that they can provide some sort of a price stability with surging prices across the board, especially with commodities. As the markets raged on today, we saw energy rising as well. If you go to XLE, we're back above that 70 range, and if you go look at crude oil, right? Crude oil is back above 100, right? It went above. Well, it briefly touched 100, and we're now coming back down again. But with crude oil here, I think at some point we're going to see a breakout above 100 again, because so far we're making a very perfect descending channel here. So if I connect all these pivot points. So we had this really nice, almost picture perfect textbook descending channel, and if crude decides to move upwards again in the last third to fourth quarter, there's a possibility that we can see new all-time highs for crude oil again, which means we may see high gas prices again as the colder season starts in the U.S. It's also a seasonality as well. With oil and natural gas, they tend to follow the seasons, right? And with the colder months, we'll also start to see a lot more natural gas usages for heaters and stuff like that. So that'll be interesting to see. But I'm still sticking to my current thesis right now about natural gas and oil, that they're going to continue to move downward for the rest of the summer season. And they're going to be in sort of a limbo between summer and fall. But eventually, once winter comes in, I'm going to be seeing a lot more energy bulls starting to come back in as well. But so far, crude oil here, if you look at the CL futures, we're holding this daily 200 SMA really well. Whenever I see the daily 200 being held multiple times here, like you see on this chart, I think there's a good chance that CL also continues to use this 200 SMA as support in the near-term future. So make sure you guys are getting as much gas as you can, because I know some people are literally filling up gas containers so that they can sell it to other people for profit in the winter months. So what do you know? The actual oil can be, and gas can actually be an investment. Hey, thank you guys for 6 likes. Adriana, welcome. It's been a while. Welcome. So that's kind of my outlook for energy here, especially with oil and natural gas. So if you go back to SPY, right? As this live stream title states, I think SPY can go to that $400 level. And why do I say that? Well, since we kind of discussed the same thing last night's live stream, I'll just kind of summarize why I think that again. But yesterday night, I said that SPY is definitely going to have enough momentum today. So I said this yesterday, that we can retest 396, and the high of today was 396.26, right? I was right on the dot we retested this new supply area or supply zone where a lot of sellers are residing. But with today's action, I think we probably took down more than at least half of sellers here just by traders' intuition here, and for the fact that we started to fill in the gap that I mentioned a couple of times for the past few weeks and months, that we need to fill in order to reverse the upside, because we've already filled in multiple gap downs that we made back in mid-June. So this is kind of the last gap down that we need to fill. This is when I believe, I think this is when CPI data came out, and that was a very tumultuous week where the price just absolutely crapped itself. And we touched that 363 major level, which is our current line in the sand level that we cannot break, or else we'll move lower to the downside and probably hit around 350, which is my ultimate bearish profit target for, or price target for SPY. So from this point forward, I think we need to watch out for this 396 to 400 level or range. And previously we're looking at the 385 to 390 range, and that was a difference of 5 points, right, from 385 to 390. But now we're looking at a 4-point range between 396 and 400. That makes sense, right? Because as SPY continues to lose volatility with lower volume, you would expect the ranges on SPY to get tighter and tighter and tighter until we have some sort of a larger move, right? So at this point, we're currently seeing SPY taking out shorts, and tomorrow I expect one more push up before we start rejecting again. So at the very least, I want to see another peak inside this 396 to 400 range before reversing back down. So that's another reason why I told my CFO Swing Watch members to grab hedges overnight as well, because we can see another potentially a small gap down and another pullback in the morning. And why do I say that? Well, on the daily time frame, we have the 50 SMA, which is this dark blue line, and usually when we tend to retest the daily 50 SMA and rise above it and close above it, the next few days we try to come back down, pull back, because there's an equal weight and amount of buyers and sellers trying to decide whether or not they want the price to stay under or above the daily 50 SMA. So we tend to get that tug of war between buyers and sellers. So it's gonna be getting very interesting for the next few trading days until the end of the week, and especially next week where we get results from FOMC minutes, right? The Federal Reserve is really going to be crucial with this next meeting next week, as they try to understand what inflation is doing right now, even with the increased interest rates and their quantitative tightening of their balance sheets. As you guys already know, their balance sheet ballooned to trillions of dollars, I believe, during the COVID pandemic and in the market, because they artificially inflated the market and the economy to make sure the economy doesn't crash further, which is also another reason why the market literally bounced very, very quickly, and I believe 2020 was the quickest market crash and recovery ever recorded, ever since they started recording the stock market. But it's pretty interesting that the market so far, SPY hasn't been acting logically, because with the state of the economy right now, with the Fed tightening its monetary policies and being a lot more hawkish than dovish, I think SPY is in a very unrealistic area with the price, and SPY should have lost most of its 2021 gains, but it didn't at all, right? We were still holding on to some of 2021's gains, and the only way that we can completely erase 2021's gains is by retesting that 350 area. But so far, all the names that are in SPY and QQQ and whatever major ETF is out there, a lot of them are down a lot, right? They're down 70, 80, some 90%. And they completely erased 2021 and 2020 losses. So all the gains from the last 2 years have been erased completely. right? And for the fact that most stocks are below their major 200 SMA levels, I think it's kind of interesting to see that SPY has been holding really well so far, right? So that's kind of my thesis for the short-term and the long-term perspectives. Does anyone have any questions? I know I laid a bunch of information for you guys right now, so if you guys do have any questions, please let me know so I can clarify it for you. If not, then we'll move on. I know there's some time lag between my live stream and to your respective viewing. So if you guys are writing questions and sending them, I won't be able to see it in the next, maybe, I think the delay is around at least 10 seconds. So, but if there aren't any questions, I kind of want to go over some charts that you guys should be looking at tomorrow. First is GM, General Motors, right? So General Motors has been, I've mentioned this a couple of times as well in the past, but we're seeing this very, very nice descending channel, just like SPY, and SPY broke out of it today. But with GM here, we're starting to peak over that crucial 34.50 level, and we also retested this daily 50 SMA as well today. And I think we're starting to see some sort of a squeeze here. Because if you take a look at F, right? So I tend to look at GM and F parallel, and the reason I do that is that when either one of them are starting to really curl upwards or curl downwards, they also follow each other, right? So they have sympathetic moves to either side, and Ford has already retested the 50 SMA and closed above the 50 SMA, completing the mean reversion back to the daily 50 SMA. So I expect General Motors to do the same. At the very least, break above the daily 50 SMA and stay on top of the daily 50 SMA for the next 2 days or so, right before earnings. And I would say both GM and F are running because of the market. Right, the Dow has been rallying, and SPY has been rallying, and mid-cap stocks, MDY has been rallying, IWM has been rallying, right, small caps. So, with F and GM, they're also seeing that earnings run up. Okay, so hopefully they continue to squeeze because GM has a lot of room to move to the upside if it decides to stay above the daily 50 SMA and completes its mean reversion back above to the upside. Joe, you said, can you go over in the video for the breakout of 180? Sure. So I took a personal trade on the video today and it absolutely blasted. Joe, I don't know. Oh, well, you're sleeping because you have COVID. So hopefully, hopefully you're recovering well. But I sent out a specific contract I was looking at because there was some unusual volume coming in early in the morning, and I got in because I was like, this looks really, really promising. And for the fact that Nancy Pelosi, the Democratic speaker, right, the House Speaker of the Democratic Party, bought, I believe, millions and millions worth of stock of Nvidia, and the very next few days she started to say that we need to pass the CHIPS bill. Right, that's literally illegal, but of course it's legal for them, insider trading, right? So if you can't fight them, then we just gotta join them, right? So and usually Nancy Pelosi never loses on her trades. That old woman is absolutely amazing with all her illegal activity, but you know what, the Democratic Party is a major party, the main party right now in the government. So I'm pretty sure she will never be flamed or be in jail or be fined because of her trades or insider trades. But hey, it's freedom, right? Hey Dion, what's up? Thank you for the like. Oh, we're almost at 10 likes. Woo. But yeah, Joel, I would say You know what? After the run today, I think with the increasing volume as well, this looks really good. I would say tomorrow might be the final day that NVIDIA has before reversing back to the downside and retesting the daily 50 SMA. We did retest it today, which coincided with this 168.50-ish level, which was a major level of resistance in the past back in mid-June. But I think 180 will be a good profit target, especially for me. But if we do start to flag underneath 180, I think that's a good opportunity. So I would expect something like this, right? So we retest 180, come back down and break below 177.50 and not use that support, and then come back up again and kind of do this, right? So hopefully, okay, this is what I would expect for NVIDIA to do to kind of uphold the gains that it made in the past 4 trading days so far. In the past 4 trading days, this one has been up at least 15%. Yeah, 15%. Okay, so that's a very, very large move. I'm pretty sure Nancy Pelosi is already reaping in their profits after getting, I think she got in with, I think it's 15 million. I think 15 million in NVIDIA stock, her and her husband. So absolutely crazy what she's doing. Her her win rate is absolutely crazy, with obviously because she has insider information. But since she is a congresswoman, I don't think she would ever get punished. But yeah, that's what I think, Joel. Adriana, hey, AMD has a gap to fill starting at 92.37. Good entry at 92.37. I wouldn't recommend getting any type of entries between 92 and 92.50 because when you're kind of in that mid area of whole numbers, you tend to get chopped up a lot. There's a lot of chop and micro volatility where buyers and sellers are trying to push the price either below or above 92, or they're trying to push the price below or above 92.50, right? So I would say you want to wait for either of those prices to hold, right? 92 or 92.50. But I can see that gap that you're talking about. It's right here. This is one of the gaps that were formed back in early June, back in when SPY just absolutely plunged down the toilet as inflation data was crazy, right? So I think AMD also has a good chance to fill in the gap. But remember, guys, the CHIPS bill that Congress is trying to pass is not going to benefit AMD and NVIDIA. Okay, it's largely going to benefit Intel, right? And I think that's kind of smart what Nancy Pelosi did, because she didn't take Intel, right? She bought NVIDIA instead. Right, so that's kind of like a diversion to make us look away from the fact that she didn't know anything about the CHIPS bill, and she's not going to advocate for it because she bought NVIDIA, right? Because if the CHIPS bill was really giving basically a stimulus check to these big semiconductor companies that's based in the U.S. to go against China, we could have directly made a line to Nancy Pelosi that she bought NVIDIA because the bill would have benefited NVIDIA, but it's not, right? It's largely impacting Intel and their growth as a company, because Intel has been seeing a lot of losses in the past 2 years, as they haven't been, they weren't actually at all a beneficiary from all the semiconductor demand that we've been seeing, and with the inflation of prices, as the supply chain issues have been squeezing the entire industry. So with AMD here, Adriana, I think you will have to wait, first of all, because tomorrow might be the last green day before we start reversing back down. Why did I say that? Well, we just closed above the daily 50 SMA for the first time, completing the mean reversion back on the daily time frame to the 50 SMA. So there's a lot of names out there that have reverted back to the mean here on the daily 50 SMA. So I would say that tomorrow is the last day for a green day on the overall markets, and we also have VIX option contracts, I believe, that are expiring tomorrow, or on Friday. So once that happens, that's going to create some volatility, most likely to the downside. So make sure you guys are hedged correctly. But yeah, Adrian, if you want to trade this one, I would say wait, Okay, you've already missed out on the big meat of the move. All right. Once we broke out of the $80, which is what is this percentage here? This should also be like 14 or yeah, 12.50. Okay, so 12.50% of a move here to the upside, and that's a big move for AMD. But I honestly don't think AMD sees $100 again per share, but it can reach it again to kind of retest, this critical level of a share price, right? Because that triple digit number is an actual statement saying that this company is worth triple digits, right, for its share price. So it's making a statement of its valuation. Okay. But yeah, Adrian, I would say just wait on this one. If you really want to trade tomorrow, wait for a bounce at 88.20, and that will be an official entry, and then try to get out around $90, right, or a little bit above 90, like 90.10. Dion, you asked, AMC gonna blast through resistance tomorrow. You know what? I think AMC, I mean, it's been squeezing, not gonna lie there. But I've been seeing some more and more shorts starting to pile up on month-end contracts here. So there's a possibility that we can see another flush to the downside, especially after a run like this. But like I said, the retail traders are really, really strong here in this one. Since AMC is getting that hype from the summer hype, as people are really coming back to the movies. I personally am going to the movies a lot now. So I think AMC can see a good second quarter here. I believe it's the second quarter. If not, it's the third quarter. But I believe it's the third quarter, actually. Yeah. Hopefully they beat earnings and revenue expectations by Wall Street. But overall, AMC still is a crappy company. They're not doing much. I mean, it's not, their whole company just basically relies on people going to physical locations to watch a movie, especially, with the last 2 years of people being stuck inside. Obviously, you could have chose to stay inside or not, but with AMC, I think it's just going to benefit shortly, all right, from this summer, resurgence back with people coming back to the movies because they're sick and tired of just going to the normal places, usual places that they just need to go, and so they're trying to spend more time and their money on entertaining themselves in their lives, like going to the movies, right? So it's one of the childhood experiences that people are wanting to rediscover again after such a horrible last 2 years. So I think AMC is just going to continue to ride along that resurgence and demand of people going to the movies. But I think AMC can reach $20 again, to be honest. I said this last time as well. If it does squeeze, AMC does have that squeezing power of buyers to push out the shorters here. It has been for the last 2 weeks. So why not, right? Why not the next few weeks too? So we do have a major level of resistance at $19. So that can also be a very plausible level of resistance to be looking at, Dion. So hopefully you can get in a nice trade tomorrow above 18. But today was also a great entry as well. The low of the day was 16.33. You could have gotten in right then, or around 16.50 as well. Okay. Adriana, you said, thanks, I will have patience. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, one more name, and I'll be finishing this live stream for tonight. Okay, it's just gonna be a very short live stream. I don't really have much to talk about. I mean, oh guys, if you guys haven't seen the Tesla video that I made for you all today, make sure you guys take a look at it. All right, I talked about some interesting points about Tesla's earnings from today and the technical chart of Tesla right now. So make sure you guys take a look at the most recent upload in my YouTube channel. Okay, I'll actually even let's see. Let me get the link and let me post it for you guys right here. Okay. There we go. I'll pin it as well in the chat. All right, perfect. Okay, so anyone else? One more, just one more. one more and that'll be it for tonight. Basically covered everything that you guys need to know for tomorrow, to be honest. And while I'm waiting for you guys, whoever decides to answer me first, let's take a look at SPY futures. So SPY futures went exactly how I wanted to go. Went exactly with my analysis, as it usually does. You know, SPY technically here, like I said, is still facing that resistance between 3,960, 3,960 and 3,965, right? So as a 5-point range, today we rejected off of 3,977, which is also could be a very hard level of resistance to overcome tomorrow. But like I said, we have this nice 5-point range on futures between 3,960 and 3,965. So hopefully we can see at least one more movement higher above the high today that we made from today. Oh, SQ. Nice one. Oops, let me go back. Not Forex, oh no. There we go. Yeah, so Adriana, actually I don't even know if you're in the CFO Swing Watch, but I did, I believe I went over this, either on the previous live stream or in the Discord, I don't really remember. But SQ, yeah. So this one, really good one here. We ended up closing above the daily 50 SMA. So this one has also completed its mean reversion back above the daily 50 SMA. We haven't retested this SMA in the past almost 4 months, right? So, you know, if we're able to hold this tomorrow again, so I expect a little tiny gap down or pull back to this daily 50 SMA and retesting it so that we can see a possible bounce at least around $73. But if not, we'll just continue to the upside. And one more thing for SQ, we do have the 10 and 21 SMAs kind of far away from the price here. So this is kind of an uncomfortable distance that I would not like to see if I want to swing SQ here. So I will wait for a pullback, but you know, this name just broke out, right? And since it just broke out yesterday and it continued that movement today, there's a possibility that we can have another movement higher, and then we could probably see a candlestick like this tomorrow, right? Like this candlestick right here. So if you're able to retest 73.50 or around 73 bounce, then we can possibly see $80 in the near-term future. So 80 is my short-term profit target for SQ, right? There's a lot of sellers that came in around the $80 level. It was a very hard level support during this diamond chart pattern, and once you broke out of that diamond chart pattern and eventually broke below $80, that was it for this stock, and it just absolutely flushed. All right, so we're just going to continue to take out all the shorts that are still involved in this name since that $80 break to the downside. Okay, Adriana, hopefully that made sense. And Joel, last one here, Amazon. Yeah, so Amazon, this was in the CFO Swing Watch. Hopefully you guys got this one. So this one is absolutely blasting today. It's right now back into this huge level of supply. And if the market continues to move up tomorrow, which I honestly think it will, we can reach 120, ultimately 126. All right, 126 is the level that you have to be watching out for. Joel, you said 123 possible breakout. Yeah, I would personally wait until we're above 123.50. Why? Because today's high today was 123.48. Right, we want to be able to see confirmation that the bulls from today carry on and spill over to tomorrow's price action. And the only way to confirm that is that the price moves above the previous high today, which is, you know, today's high today of 123.48. Right, $123.48. So I would say 123.50 is a good whole number entry to get in at. But if you see potential bounce or break above 123, great. That could be a great entry to take profits around 124.50 and then ultimately 125, right? Since the market can pull back tomorrow as well in the middle of the day. So You have to be, catching and taking in profits as quickly as possible in this market. Understood? And also, I mean, like I said, the price is currently inside this really, really big and large supply area, right, between 120 to 126-ish. So that's a very large 6-point range. But with this increasing volume and buyers as well, I think there's a possibility that we can hit that 126 tomorrow. But make sure you are taking profits along the way and into strength, right? Who knows when the price is suddenly going to reject tomorrow any intraday resistance level, especially in the past here, right? Especially right here where we saw intraday levels forming here and here as well, right? So make sure, Joel, you're just looking out for that 120 to 126 range. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, so that's it for tonight. Before I leave you guys here, make sure you guys leave a thumbs up, especially if you guys are watching the recording. And just as a reminder, okay, we have a discount code for you all, right? It's a 50% off for Tier 4 package, the Tier 4 package, right? Which is the monthly subscription, but without the monthly mentorships, right? So there's no monthly mentorships, it's just the monthly subscription. If you guys want that for 50% off for 2 months, all right, make sure you guys use the code 50OFF because only 5 people will be able to use it. Only 5, right? It's only 5 coupons, right? Maximum 5. Once all of them are gone, no one else can use it. No matter how hard you try, no matter how many times you type in the code, it will not work until it wouldn't work until 5 people have used it. So so make sure you guys check it out. The link should be in the description box below. It should be the very second link. It's hard to miss. So make sure you guys click on the right link to get directed to the CFO Swing and Watch subscription page. And remember that discount code 50OFF is only for Tier 4, right? Only for the package called Tier 4. Okay, so good luck trading tomorrow. Hopefully this market analysis is going to be very useful tomorrow and for the next week. And make sure you guys are managing your risks. That's the most important part to your trading, all right? And remember, work hard and trade smart. I'll see you guys all tomorrow at the same time, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night and thank you all for joining.